ตอนเรียนนักวิชาการ
ใส่หน้า
เทียมใช่ไหมเทียมเทียมเชฟมาร์ตินจิมไม่ใช่จิมนั่นคือเป็นเยอะอาจารย์นี่คือ
นี่อย่างนี้ว่าคุณจะลายอะไรอ่านเลยเนาะถ่ายไปที่ย้ายห้องเลยวันนี้ที่จะได้เรียนอย่างขายเองขายก็นั่นเลยพวกนั้นไปจอยไปช่วยเรื่องไม่มีโปรแกรมมีอันดับ10 โมงกันมาไม่ได้
So this exercise, we've done this before, but I want you guys to practice writing down your answers to these 3 questions. I should not capitalize that. But how are you? Good. So how are you? You would respond present tense, right? How was your night last night?
Pass.
So again, the difference, one of the big differences between Thai and English is English makes you do this. So take just a few minutes. I just want you guys to practice because you will get asked these questions a lot. I think. At least I will ask them. But just respond, write down your answers to these questions. And just think of, this should be in present tense. My answer should be in present tense. My answer should be in past tense for these. Then I'll have a couple of you guys share. So take a few minutes just to practice writing down your answers. You gave me this, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Teacher today, may I go to red enter?
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. Okay. Thank you.
ต่อ
ทบทวนทบทวน
How long does it take by bus?
How was your night last night? You
Yeah.
have the whole night?
Well, it's a common question, so don't worry about if it's grammatically correct. It's just a way somebody will ask a question. Do any of you know how long it takes to get to Chiang Mai by bus? 2 hours.
No,
By bus.
more than by bus. More than about 6 hours, 7 hours.
ไม่ได้หรอก
ไปไหนเชียงใหม่
Chiang Mai.
10
Oh.
Oh, mamayถึงนะ
We have I asked partner
maybe 10 hours, right?
10 hours
Okay,
นอนสบาย
6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 maybe.
that's a long time.
Maybe a private bus, maybe not about 10 hours. Maybe 6,
They go really fast the whole way.
พิษณุโลกชั่วโมงเลยก็ใช่
Well, I'm going this weekend
อ๋อดีสิ
with Mary and Hall,
อ๋อ
and these are my bus tickets. I was curious how long.
Harry know is stingy my own by plane is
Yeah, so I'll ask them that.
how many person
ไปกลางคืนเนี่ยไป
5.
3 ทุ่มจนสว่าง
Yeah, plane would be a lot faster. We have to travel overnight.
with tour or
Well, we're going to be working with some refugees there. Yeah,
for working or for
for working. Yeah.
that's the office marina over there
Yeah. So, we'll see. Can't wait for my 10-hour bus ride. The Cambodia one was long enough. Do any of you want to share your responses? You want to share yours? No? Okay. You want to?
How are you?
Good, okay. So yesterday it was okay. Today it was good. Good. How was your night last night? Good. Okay, good. Because you're only saying good, I'm gonna say, well, what did you do last night?
How was your
What's the
last
What
night?
is that meaning?
What did you do?
Last night? What did you do last night?
Yeah, so if you said your night was good, I'm not saying I want to know everything, but just, that's a common question. If I say, what did you do this weekend? What did you do last night? What did you do this morning? It's not, that's a general question. It's not like I don't want to know like every little detail. I mean, you can tell me every detail if you want, but it's more so, was there anything interesting you did, at least what you think is interesting last night? Is there anything unusual that you don't usually do that you did do last night? Or anything that you just want to mention? Or you could just say, oh, I just stayed at home, but it was a nice, relaxing evening, and that's why it was good. It doesn't have to be super specific, but you can just briefly describe how it was a good evening. So how was it a good evening?
Can you say nothing? No.
Like, not say anything?
Nothing special.
Oh, yeah, you could say nothing. Yeah, it was nothing special. It was just a nice, relaxing evening. You could just say that. But if you just said nothing, that wouldn't tell me why it was good. you could say, so you could say, how are you? Good. How was your night last night? Good. What did you do last night? Nothing. You could say that. You could say that. But you might say, nothing special. Just stayed at home. It was nice and relaxing. You don't have to say that exact phrase, but that's just a helpful thing to say versus just saying nothing. So, yeah, that's good. I mean, a polite person might ask these questions. Maybe. Anybody else?
I'm quite well.
Quite well. Okay. Good.
Last night I was tired,
Okay.
but joyful. Tired of it. I read the book all night to find the answers of the exercise in the book.
Okay. Good. So you read past tense.
Read, yes.
Yeah, to find the answers in the book. That's perfect. So, yeah, that's the key is that last night I had a conversation with a friend of mine who is starting to learn to speak English. And this is a true story, it's not like a lesson. But he is still trying to learn English. He's not fluent in English.
Is he not American?
He's not, he's from Japan.
Uh-huh.
But very nice guy. But sometimes he doesn't use past tense, present tense, or future tense. It's always present tense.
Correct.
So when he does that, sometimes I'm confused. Well, did that happen in the future? Did that happen in the past? So sometimes he might be saying stuff that I think he's going to do, but he's already done it in the past. So. That's why it's good practice, and that's why sometimes it's only, I know for Thai people, in the Thai language, yeah, you guys don't use tenses.
Yes.
So I understand that, but it's just, since I haven't spoken Thai, it's harder for me to understand when people are saying that. So, good. Anybody else want to share? Anybody who had a horrible night? Or a bad night?
My night. Can I answer? How was your night last night? My night, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. Yeah.
My night, it was so bad because of I was worrying about the dog barking at the night, you know.
Okay.
Annoying.
My temple there are many dogs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see.
Because the home of the people next to the temple, you know, they're passing by the temple every night.
Oh, okay.
My temple's always open. Many cars parking when the cars come to park.
Where is your temple?
Where
Where is
my
your
temple?
Yeah.
In Bakunon.
Oh, far away.
Far away.
Okay.
Dogs always barking. People passing by.
That is annoying.
At midnight. But I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm just too sleeping. But sometimes dogs outside the temple, you know, in the cage at night they fighting each other.
It sounds like chaos.
It was not so good for my night.
Did you do anything?
Every day for me, when I was sleep, you know, I light up the candles on the flat.
Okay.
I don't turn on the lights. I light up the candles and reading and sleep. About 30 minutes, I fall asleep. My book fall down the bed, and is made me know that I'm feeling sleep already. The book's falling when I read. I light up the candle and sleep reading. About 30 minutes, I don't know, I sleep when, and the book fall down. I wake up, I keep on the book and I dark fire.
Quick.
Put
So
down.
phải sẽ turn on.
The book? The
No.
book lit on fire?
Yes.
Put
I
off the
stop
light.
fire.
Oh!
And then I sleep.
Off the
Phải
light.
ใช้คำว่าอะไรดับเทียน
Put off.
how to because he light the unlight candle you use unlight candle
When I feel sleep, I sleep and then dark tear.
Okay, let's go.
unlight the candle
If you light a candle?
Yeah.
No, you mean
and
put down the light. Or
Put off the China.
he lit the
Turn off the
light
candle. Turn off the candle.
So it's actually like a flame of
Yeah.
fire
Yes.
that you have to put out.
how to use
yeah,
the
put
light
out.
I would say you put out the flame or you put out the fire.
put out the
Put out the
fire
fire.
Yeah.
put out the flame
Yeah. It's not like a fire. It just you
Light.
could put out the candle.
Yeah.
So you say
I think to use the unlight
unlight.
unlight
Unlight.
unlight
I haven't used unlight. Put out.
put out the candle
Well, if you're lighting something, you're lighting the candle. Unlight just means you're not doing it. But by putting out the candle, you're making the flame go away. Unlighting just means you're not doing anything. But put out, which would be an action, you're just putting out the candle, putting out the flame.
Put out.
to put out the flame put out the candle
I mean,
put out the flame
this is probably more correct, grammatically correct.
yes
But I'm just saying that if you said this, I would know what you mean.
understand
So this is just more technical. Good. So interesting night.
And what did you do every day?
Every day.
Last night.
Okay. So
What was your night?
I'll answer these questions. I am doing well.
Well,
Tired, but well. What did I do last night? I taught accounting class at Wat Mai.
and
Wat Mai, it's
Wat
a,
Mai. what my
all
name?
right
and sorry, it's my accent. It's a satu product,
Satu Padit. All the
soy sisip.
อ๋อวัดดอกไม้
Satu Padit is a temple of Thayai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have heard in there.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
There was one maybe American or Canadian teacher.
Was it me?
He teach the English for the novice and monks.
Oh yeah.
Every Saturday and Sunday.
Is it a black guy?
Yeah. Right.
His name is Serge. He's a volunteer with Marino.
Oh really?
Yeah. So okay, that's cool.
Oh, is it?
Only on
Teach on
Saturday and
Saturday and
Sunday.
On
Saturday
weekend.
and Sunday. On weekend.
Oh,
on weekend
On weekend.
On weekend.
I guess he doesn't teach on weekends though, so maybe it's somebody different.
Just only Thai monks and people.
Oh, Thai. Oh, sorry. These are
Teaching time.
these people are from Shan
Sa
State.
state, yeah.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thai.
Okay.
Thai.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
They don't accept it for Laos, Cambodia, Thai. Just only some states people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was yeah. So last night I taught accounting there. Then I went to Silom Road, or Solid Station, and met a friend at Flannery O'Brien's, the Irish pub. It's, I'll just spell it. It's an Irish pub that's on Sealow Road,
Sealow Road.
right across from Solidating Station.
ถนนสีลม
You guys should go there. It's an Irish pub.
ถนนสีลม and Hausan Road is the famous places for
What is the
foreign.
press?
Huh?
What is the press for?
Irish pub, beer and
Oh, pub. It's like
yeah, pub. Yeah, a lot of Americans. um,
ถนนคนเดินถนน
and so
Walking street.
อ่า
สีลม
so I went there, met a friend,
ของฝรั่ง
and then I came back to my apartment and watched television, and then prepared for this lesson.
อ่า very cool.
Then I went to sleep. Yeah. So that's my story. Anybody else want to share theirs? Or you want to move on?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I watched television
Okay.
last night.
No. No, it's not a question. อันที่สองนั่นอะไร
I was
อ่า
ความรู้สึกแบบที่สองให้บอกความรู้สึกไม่ได้บอกไม่ได้
Okay. So first question, you're feeling good. How was your night last night?
I watched television.
Okay. So you're answering the question. What did you do?
I was touring in Laos. Number 3.
Okay.
What do you do? No, number 2.
Yeah, so I guess just back up real quick. So on number 2, how was your night last night? You would just say like, was it good? Was it bad? Did you enjoy it? So
Enjoy.
you did. Okay. Good. So then when I ask you what specifically did you do? Then you would say, well, I watched. What did you watch?
General.
Okay, general television. Yeah. Good. So yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, I'll stop with those. It's also going to give you guys a chance to talk and express what you're feeling. So these 3 sentences, what we're going to practice doing is do you know what a synonym is?
Yes.
Okay. So basically it's a word that means the same thing as another word. So what I want you guys to do is practice on your own. I want you guys to think about these first by yourselves before we go over these together. But for each of the words underlined, I want you to try to think of a different word or a different phrase to use that means the same thing. You could even, if you want, you could even rearrange the sentence, but as long as you say the sentence to mean the same thing as this. Does that make sense? Give you guys about five minutes. Yeah, so just write down what you can write down the sentence, but use a synonym instead.
Would you mind writing once in a while?
Excuse me, I don't know your name. Please write your name.
Oh, sure, sure.
And
Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
2A.
Yeah. I'm not sure why.
Vô. Sure. Finish.
finish. So, first sentence. So he did not want to take part in the meeting. What is that? Don't worry about just the word take part, but if I was to say to you, he did not take part in the meeting, what does that sentence mean? Join. Yes. Yeah. Join. Yeah. So join or participate. Did you guys look that up?
Yeah.
So he did not want to join the meeting. He did not want to participate in the meeting. What about he called up all his friends to say goodbye?
Ran off phone.
Rank of
Bring your phone. Okay.
Is it invite? You can say invite.
Right.
Invites.
That's a good question. In the book, it does say that it involves writing, but
Invites.
Right.
Invites.
Invites. It wouldn't be invite just because he's not inviting would be extending, like you're wanting somebody to join an event.
by letter or
But-
by
To visit,
can invite by ring or by letter.
call up to visit,
Use invite.
Invite. So you're saying
call up his friend to say
Invite,
goodbye.
right.
Yeah, many ways to invite. By letter, by call up, only one way.
right, but here you wouldn't say invite, even if it was a letter or phone. Whatever way you invite somebody, you would not use invite for this sentence because invite, like you can invite somebody to a party, you can invite somebody to an event. It's more formal. Here, all he's doing is calling somebody and telling them goodbye. So he's not inviting them to something. But like you phone somebody, you ring somebody. Any others you guys thought of? Well, those are enough. So he took off his hat and coat. He took off his hat and coat.
Remove.
Removed. Yeah. He removed his hat and coat. Good. Any questions about any of these? Yeah.
Teacher, took off. What is the answer?
Took off. Took off. All that means is that you removed something. So I
don't think that. What is the answer?
Yeah.
Took off. Put off. What do you say? Put off. Put off. The synonym of took off is
Remove.
remove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put out
Or put off.
in
Not put off.
Not put off. Remove. Oh, put
Not-
off. Not
Not
put
put
off.
off. No.
put out.
It would no. Are you saying put off?
Put off.
No. It's not put off.
Angry.
Out.
Yeah. If you're put off with something, you're angry with something.
Okay.
You can take off or took off or remove, but not put off. So that the answer here would be removed.
His hat put me off.
Yeah. He was
Because when I was young, the teacher will say you can put on and put off.
Put out.
put on or take off.
Take off.
On.
It would be if you put on clothes, you put on something, but you don't put off clothes. You take off clothes.
Oh, I remember put on and put
The
off.
teacher was wrong.
It's the opposite.
Yeah. So it's in my opinion, you can't use put off if you're taking off
Oh,
something.
it's a wrong understand.
Listen.
So wrong.
Like, you put off. Put off means what?
Angry.
Angry. But put off can also mean you delay something. Like if I'm putting off, postpone,
Yes.
yes. So if I put off eating lunch until 2 p.m., I'm postponing or delaying something. So that's what put off means.
Oh, it's the wrong, misunderstood.
Okay. No, that's a good question though, because I mean, it does make, your question makes sense. If I put on something, put off,
but
it makes sense, but yeah, put off means something different.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Teacher, and how about take on?
Take on? What, okay, good question. What does take on mean? So if I was going to take on,
The bus.
It's on train.
I wouldn't use it that way. I thought this was actually one we were going to take on. So let me use it as an use take on. That's actually one of the ones, we were going to talk about something similar today, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. Let's use these two as an example. What do you think that means?
To move,
To what?
to move.
Move the mountain?
Climb the mountain.
Yeah. You're going to climb, but you're not going to climb a challenge. You're going to
Get involved.
accept a challenge. So if I take on a new role at work, so I'll use that as an example. I'm going to take on So let's see, I'm going to take on a new position at work. So let's say that I have additional responsibilities. I have to take on those additional responsibilities. I have to accept those responsibilities, accept that challenge.
To get the question,
To what?
to get, make on is to get a new question at work.
To take on?
Yes,
To take on just, okay, so take on, so that's the definition, is it means to accept a responsibility for, or to accept a challenge or a task.
Task.
Like a task, like,
it's hard work.
it's like something you have to do. Like if I have to do chores at the house, that's a task. Or if I have stuff at work that is assigned to me, that's a task. So a lot of times people will say to take, like say something that involves to take on additional responsibility. You're accepting or being responsible for additional work, additional chores, additional tasks. So these examples, I'm going to take on or accept this challenge of climbing a mountain or something like that. I'm going to take on just some new challenge. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take on a new position at work. I'm going to accept this additional responsibility at work.
That's a good question. Take on.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to change this a little bit. So removing this definition. What if I erase on? What does this mean now?
to change.
Does it make sense?
So you can take this mountain.
Can you take a mountain?
Take
So
Take a bus.
So you can't use these examples if you just say take. Take on means something different than just take.
Take.
So what did you?
This guy.
Yes. Take. I'm going to take the SkyTrain. I'm going to take the bus. I'm going to take a motorcycle to work. You would not say I'm going to take on a bus. That means you're going to challenge the bus, which is not what you're going to do. You're just going to take a bus. So I'll give you guys the definition of take. So just the word take means to do some action. And what's the action that we're doing right here? What action are we doing in this sentence?
Going.
Yeah, going on the SkyTrain.
What about get on a bus?
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to get on the bus. Yeah, yeah. That works.
Okay.
Or I'm going to get on the SkyTrain. You could do the same thing with that. Or I'm going to hop on the motorcycle.
Hop on.
Not like literally hop, but
Learn that.